0, 1. Let's get started.
Hey y'all, it's Coco with a K. I'm back. And for me today, I want to speak on a couple things. One being authenticity, and the other is a topic that came from a follower who wanted me to touch on that, and I'll get into that a little later. But I'm going to just dive into authenticity. We know today that social media is the way that everyone is making money. It's very lucrative. From business deals to partnerships to people like fashion girls who are into fashion, makeup girls. Like, your vibe really attracts your tribe over on social media, right? And so for the girls who don't have a niche, who they just yap a lot, that's okay. You don't have to you don't have to pick up your phone, set it up, and divulge in talking about somebody's personal business or celebrity news. You don't have to do that. Your vibe really will attract your tribe. Be you. The best value that you can add to your brand, which is because you are your brand, is authenticity, right? That's the best way to be successful. That's the one thing that nobody can copy. Anybody can pick their phone up and record about the gossip. Celebrity news is easy, but at what price, right? Because at some point it starts to feel like you're still going to work. The goal for me was to not feel like I had to work, to do something that made me feel good, that allowed me time freedom, that also made me money. And I have to be authentic to self. I can't get on here and talk about celebrity news every day. I can't do it. I can't get on here and police people outfits because that's the thing that fashion girls are in these days, the trends are in. I can't do it. It'll begin to feel like a job for me, right? So if you are jumping into the social media realm and you find yourself stuck or hitting a brick wall because you are not into the things that you see everybody else into, maybe it's not your thing. Pray and ask God to give you some direction, because without it, you will find yourself doing something that's not even you. You don't talk about celebrity gossip. You don't care who got into it with who or who's at odds. You don't care about that. And for me, it's so important for me to stay true to self. I won't put anything out if that's the only thing that there is to talk about. I won't do it. It's not my thing. I've had people try to make me have conversations about things that I was like, nah, I'm not putting that on social media. That's not for social media. People have told me to be emotional, get into your feelings, be emotional, make yourself cry a little bit. No. If I ever record and I become emotional, then I do. I probably will hurry up and stop the camera, but that's not my thing. That's very performative, and I'm not performative. So authenticity is key, y'all. It's 8 billion people in the world, something like that. Your vibe is going to attract your tribe. It's enough people out here for everybody to make money, for the internet to be lucrative. You don't have to jump on here because you may think it looks, you can't tell. People can look at you and see like, you're goofy, or you're a clown. Your life is not even together how you say it is, or that ain't this. Like, acting like you have it and you don't have to do that. Like, girlies over on TikTok, I admire a lot of them because TikTok is a whole different world. I ain't got it, baby, but I'm on TikTok. What's up? I'm posting, I'm making my money. Can y'all share this? Can y'all follow this? Then you have the girlies on Instagram everybody's a celebrity on Instagram. You'll come in on somebody post and won't even respond back. You'll tell somebody they look cute, they won't respond back because in their minds, disassociation with us common folk make them more irrelevant. And oftentimes the people who come in got more going on than the people who page that they coming on. Like, let's not let the social media consume us. Social media is almost never what it to be. Let's just live in that, sit in that, and use it for what it's for, as a resource, as a means to an end. What it is. It's nothing more, nothing less. It should not consume you. It should not consume your thoughts. It should not become your personality. Oh, I got 300,000 followers. That should not say that when you're meeting a human being on the street. You should not say that. Yeah, I have over 1 million followers on social media. That should not be part of your personality. People are telling you how many followers they have before they tell you how they are. And I just don't understand how. Well, I do, because it's a trend. It's the trend. It's the thing right now. The trends are, and for me, it's a means to an end. It can be here today and gone tomorrow. Y'all seen how they took TikTok. So don't let social media become your personality. Be somebody outside of social media. Also, don't just jump into it and because you seen this work for Kiki and Keisha over here and you gonna do it for yourself. Authenticity is key. You got something that nobody else has in you that everybody else want to hear. Bring that. Like you know who want to hear what you have to say. I didn't know as many people care to hear what I have to say. And I understand that nothing overnight either. So I compare myself to people who I see on social media. Like I've done it in life, period. I can't do it. I'm not set up that way. I'm not wired that way. Congratulations, great job. I'm happy for you. That has absolutely nothing to do with me though, right? Your success does not mean I'm under pressure to perform now. Like that's not how my brain works. That's good job, congratulations. Now, if I see something that you've done that I can take from, I'm always doing it. I'm not one of those girls who need to do something first. That's not my vibe. Like we need to do something first to some type of success or to feel superior. You're lacking, really, really lacking in an area. You need to go seek some help because that's not none of this a son that ain't been done before. Somebody done everything already. And so fall in line. Take what you need, leave what you don't. And just keep building off of what's already here. Stop thinking you got to be the next person. You got to be the best person. You don't have to be either of those. I mean, person or the best person. You have to be authentic to self. That's what's going to catapult your success. That's what's going to make you different from everybody else. Just being you. I ain't got nothing to give you but what I got to give you. Other than that, that's all. That's it. I can't go look at somebody else's content and say, I'm going to incorporate this in mine. She did this like this. I'm going to do it like that. Can I be inspired? Absolutely. Do I mimic? Absolutely not. So I just wanted to touch on that. Authenticity is key. Stay true to self. Stay true to you. Don't let people tell you how you should be acting on social media, what you should do, what's going to attract followers, what's going to get the engagement. Like, there's you, your and God. Like, just think about it, baby. Because can't nobody tell you. Don't nobody tell you. Nobody should be able to tell you how to perform. Don't be performative. It's ugly. It's not cute. Now, the topic that one of my followers wanted me to touch was, why do men feel like when women have their stuff together, they don't have to do anything? They don't have to contribute. They have to be a man. And my specific answer to that is because most men tie their value to their money. And when there's no use for their money in a situation, then don't feel like they have to do anything. Like there's nothing for me to do. They don't know that their words of affirmation matter. They don't know that their presence alone matters. They don't know that their matters. If it's not money, then they don't have to do anything. And I think her specific, and I could be wrong, was why do men feel like when women have their stuff together, they don't have to do anything? And I think that's why they tie their worth to their money. And if she don't need my money, then she don't need me. If she don't need me financially, then she don't need me. And that's because a lot of men don't know who they are if they don't have money. A lot of men don't know what they have to offer aside from money. So you can't even begin to have a conversation with a man like that about this because that they can't even comprehend. They don't even have the comprehension skills to know that it's not about your money. It's about the things that you don't do. It's about the time that you don't give. It's about the compliments that you don't give. It's about the times that you don't show up. It's about the, other things. The money is the easy part. So I think when a man's woman with all her stuff together, and not all men, I hate when women say, oh, men are intimidated by me. They are intimidated by me. I got this and I got that and they're intimidated by me. I don't believe that to be true about men. Some men, absolutely. But all men are intimidated by women who have their stuff together. I think they just don't know who they are. And they are in this awkward space because a lot of times money open up so many doors for them. Their money is going to speak for them. A lot of times men don't even have to have conversation because people assume for them and they just go with the flow. So don't know who they are for real. I literally just had this conversation this weekend. I was in Chicago and I was talking to this lady, very well established, distinguished woman. And this was kind of conversation. Like, men who are established and who have a lot of, really rely on anything other than their money. They can't go have a conversation with you about feelings. They can't have a conversation with you about necessities for money, like affirmation or acts of services that don't require them to spend money. Like, they don't know. And one thing she said was, you got to teach them. I just feel like I shouldn't have to teach a man anything. There's therapy. There are parents that should have taught you, like, why do I have to come in and say, it's a job, but it'll be worth it in the end? I don't want to do that. I'm past thinking I can fix someone, past thinking that I know better than them in a situation, or I can tell them better. Especially when you've reached a certain level of success, nobody can really tell you anything. In order for something to get through to you, you have to lose almost everything. Then you'll be open to listening, right? And even then, some people still aren't open to listening because they feel like I've done it once, I can do it before. You ain't never reached the level of success that I have. So that's another thing you have to deal with. Some people are closed off to even receiving because they think that you've never reached the level of success that I have. You don't know better than I do. You simply don't know better than I do. So when it comes to a man not knowing how to add value to a woman other than his money, because that's what it boils down to, when a man sees a woman who's already financially stable and you know how to add value to her. Like, how can I add value to this woman's life? Like, what about protecting? What about, about a friendship? What about, what are those things that they don't possess? They don't even talk to themselves. Get talking to people. When people say I talk to myself, I mean, to be looked at it as like you feel thrown off thing. But the older that I get, I realize you have to talk to yourself. You have to affirm yourself. You have to, conversations back and forth with yourself, like playing situations or seeing how, pros and cons. People do not talk to themselves. People do not talk to God. People are just waking up and going. So they don't know themselves. They don't know what moves them. They don't know what they like. They don't know what, happy. They don't. So my take on a man not knowing how to add value to a woman is this, or a woman is already successful. Why does a man feel like he doesn't have to do anything? He doesn't know how to add value to you. Like, in that point, I think it's for us to not try to figure out how to teach him how to add value to us. Recognize that, okay, he know how to add value to me. Let me go on and pivot and move out of his way. The only thing that he can add to me is money. And for some women, that's enough. I ain't knocking it. For some women, that's enough. Like, I hate the money. Like, I don't need the conversation. I don't need the affirmations. I don't need the protection. Like, I need him. I don't need that. Right? I just need him to be able to pay this rent on the first. That's what I need. And who am I to say that, that's my favorite line these days. Who am I? So some women don't need that. So once you realize, but if you are a woman who do need the other things aside from the money, then you just gonna have to pivot, because I just don't think, and this is my opinion, that a man at a certain age, I don't think that he's even open to seeing the quote unquote error of his ways. I don't think he's open. I don't even think he can process it, especially if he's reached a level of success. I don't think he wants to, because I don't have time for that. I have 20 women who will take me as I am, and you want me to tap into my feelings? You want me to tap into the things that I don't have to give? I don't even know how to give myself. Like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm going to go over here with the other women who don't require nothing but the bill money on the first. And so you just got to know yourself too, and know what you're willing to take and put up with, because I just don't think that a man like that, after a certain age, is willing to change. Yeah, I've seen it a couple of times where men will say, I actually had a conversation yesterday where someone told me, having a conversation, and he's very successul. He has several restaurants, several businesses, and things like that. And he doesn't look at himself as successful. And I honestly, at first, I felt like it was a reach for, no, you are super successful. You got that. But as the conversation went on, he began to say, you're successful. I think what you're doing is successful. Raising a mannered, smart son, instilling morals in him, things that you care about and want to do, your time freedom. I think you're successful. He was like, I don't think that I'll ever reach that level of success. That was one point he made. And then two, he's also a person who says he doesn't see the value in a relationship, and that he don't see the value in it. And I was like, well, don't you think that you're contradicting yourself? Like, on one hand, you say you don't see the value in a relationship, and then on the other hand, use the level of success that some of your friends have with building families and raising children. Like, that's you, and you will never get that. Like, do you know what you want? And if you let men talk long enough, they'll let you know that they really don't know what they want, and they'll let you know that they're even they try to be macho and hide them. And he was just like, eventually he ended up saying, no, I don't know what I want. Makes perfect sense. Like, so a lot of these men don't know themselves well enough to give you anything more than money. And as a woman, you got to be okay. You got to recognize it, accept it, move on. So that for me, the thing that I wanted to talk about, which just popped up in my head as I'm talking about a lot of these men don't know what they want. A lot of these men also deal with trauma that they think that they've healed from, and they haven't. And it affects them because they built on that trauma. When you build on something, right, in 30, like a 30, I mean on something, and you've gained a little success. You've done well for yourself, because most men tie their value to money, right? So if you've made it through trauma and you've been able to gain some type of success, it's going to be almost impossible for somebody to tell you otherwise. Then the way that you think, the way that you act, the way that you feel, that you do, it's almost impossible for somebody to correct you. Like, it's going to be dang near impossible. Like, I do all of this and I was still able to obtain this. I was still able to do this and to where I am today. It's going to be almost impossible for somebody to tell you, yeah, but you still do this. Yeah, but still have to work on this. Yeah, like, I don't have to work on nothing. Like, I've seen it. And told me something that stuck with me. They said, you're not experiencing yourself. I'm experiencing you. And that will never leave me, because we do not get to experience ourselves, right? We can say we know what our flaws are. We can say we know what our strengths are, what we do well and what we do poorly. We can say that, right? But are not experiencing ourselves at the level which another person is experiencing us. So whether it's a family member or a romantic relationship or friendship, like, listen when people are telling you things about yourself, right? Listen, because even though you think you know, oftentimes, not just men, we build off trauma. And when we think we've reached a certain space to where, like, I'm fine now, oh, I'm good now, you're still operating in that trauma. That trauma is never going to leave you. That's what we don't understand as humans. Our trauma never leaves us. We learn how to cope with it. We learn how to work around it. We learn how to work with it, but it never leaves us. So when someone tells you that they're experiencing you, how they're experiencing you, you have to take that in and listen to them, right? Now, the tricky part is, you could be triggering, you could be doing just fine and be living right and how you're supposed to live, but that's triggering the unhealed parts in them, right? And so just because you should listen to when people tell you how they're experiencing you, don't mean you should internalize all of it, because we're all, again, dealing with traumas, right, that we've built through. And so to go back to the part, a lot of men don't heal from their trauma because they feel like they're so strong, they with their trauma. And when you build with your trauma, it's from building through your trauma. And let me try to explain that the best that I can. So when you build with your trauma, it's just like, I'm taking this trauma with me, and you're just gonna build on it. When you build through it, it's like you are acknowledging it. You're going through it. You're acknowledging it. You're feeling all the feelings. You are knowing the triggers. You're with it. So when these things do come up, you can acknowledge, okay, this is where it's coming from. But when you just take the trauma and you build with it, it's like it doesn't even exist, right? And like, I don't have any triggers. Oh, I know this happened to me, but like, look, I've done with it, right? I hope that made sense, because that's how my mind works. Whatever. If you didn't get it, you slow. But yeah, so a lot of us are just living with the trauma. We've a certain level of success, and nobody can tell me nothing, because I went through all of that and I made it here. So that segued me to that, the why men feel like they to do nothing when a woman is financially together, is because I just don't think men find value in anything else that they have to offer other than money. They don't find value in their presence. If a man doesn't have money, you'll hear men say a lot of times, if I don't got no money, I ain't going nowhere. And that's because they don't find value in anything else that they have to offer other than their money. That's what I think. That's opinion. Y'all get in the comments and tell me what y'all think. But DC, I hope that answered your question. See y'all next time. Bye, Coco with a K.